Hello people of YouTube, my name is Brad, this is my channel Animate Orange, and this week in 3D metal model news. I apologize I'm a little late, but I'm back this week in a almost timely fashion. I mean, a day late, it's not as bad. I've been way too busy lately. Again, I apologize. I try to keep the news video on a schedule so you know when to expect it, but that is honestly getting more and more difficult. And today I deemed that sleep was more important. I worked 12 hours Friday night into Saturday morning, and got some research done and got some like an outline together, and was about to fall asleep. So got some rest. Here I am. Here's the video this week in 3D metal model news. We're going to start off with, as usual, Fascinations, because it looks like they've moved a bunch of stuff from the coming soon page to the what's new or new products page. And we've got the Iconics C3PO, or the premium C3PO, that only some people are looking forward to. We've got the S64 Sky Crane and the S97 Raider. So a couple of helicopters, a couple of really neat looking helicopters that I wouldn't mind building. And I don't believe they had moved before, but I could be wrong. We also have the other three Mandalorian models, the Razor Crest, the IG-11, and the Mandalorian, are finally on the What's New page, and I am hearing more and more reports that people are getting their pre-orders. Innovatoys allowed pre-orders. I believe I saw somebody just an hour or two ago said that it's been 5 months, and they've finally gotten there. It has been quite the delay, and they are starting to come out, but slowly but surely. I did look on Innovatoys' website. They have all of them listed on their site again. I think they're all back to pre-order. I think last week I said that they were listed as sold out. Now they're back to pre-order, so you can pre-order the next shipment. Kind of, we're teetering on the edge of being fishy here. I get it. I get things are delayed because of the pandemic. And I know from having built these models since 2013, I still remember the delay in the Transformers models. I remember when the only licensed models were Star Wars, Star Trek, and what was it, Halo and Mass Effect, I think, were the only licensed. Well, then there was Boeing, or one of the planes. I think it was Boeing, but Transformers was announced, and I was super excited, and I got everything ready to do the models in the month that they said it was going to be here, and another month or a month and a half went by before they showed up. As compared to this, it wasn't a pandemic at the time. And this is why Metal Earth doesn't like to give out specific times, because shipping tends to fall through on them, and it makes them look bad. So I get it. It's finally here. I'm not going to keep beating on that. But those of us who haven't pre-ordered and just want to order flat out, we're still waiting. But there is some hope. All of those moved to the what's new, but no new models, no more coming soon, which honestly they don't need to be right now. They've still got quite a few. I respect that they're trying to take it a little slower. Looking at Piececool, however, I did see several new models. I think they're related to each other. I think it's another one of those sets, or maybe an addition to a set that's already out. It gets confusing at this point. We have, the first one is the Tang Dynasty Scenery set, or they gave it another weird, like the Google Translate gave it a weird name, but I'm going to go with Tang Dynasty Scenery set, and it's basically different figures and tables and chairs, people, signs and bridges, and just stuff, just extra scenery. Pretty neat if we're going for a diorama look. The model number is P166-GN. 3 sheets, 3 of their standard size sheets, I believe. 208 parts. It's listed as, the material is listed as being brass. 2 out of 7 stars, so an easy build. I can't imagine these would be very complicated things to build. And the expected date listed on all these models was the 24th of this month, which we are past, and I have actually seen them on Aliexpress. I've got a couple of links to the 2 stores that I found them in so far down in the comments below if you find yourself wanting to grab one of these models. That's the first of 4 different ones that showed up new. The next one is listed as the Casino. I'm assuming some sort of gambling establishment. It is P167GR. 4¼ sheets, 199 pieces, also listed as brass for the material. Finish size of 14.1 by 6.9 by 12.1 centimeters, 3 out of 7 stars. So still a fairly easy model, 3 out of 7, not too difficult, only a star more than the scenery bits. Then we have the Yahong Garden, Y-A-H-O-N-G Garden, P165-GR. This one is 293 pieces, also listed as brass. Finish size 14.6 by 9 by 11 centimeters height. The last number is always the height. And this one is listed as 4 out of 7 stars. So unintentionally, I listed these in the order of difficulty. Well, no, the next one is not quite as difficult. The last one is Cloth Store, so I guess a materials shop. P164-GR. It is 282 pieces or parts, brass, again, brass. Finish size 12.5 by 10 by 10.5 centimeters. Finished size. 3 out of 7 stars. So none of these models seem to be high on the difficulty scale. And it's just, you could create a diorama. Another trend that we've been seeing in a lot of the Chinese metal model manufacturers, where they're creating different structures that are meant to be put together. And in this case, we've even got scenery that you can add to it. So if you were to want, or where was I going with that? If you were to want to put together a diorama or a corner or a display of these models, you've got a whole set to work with. And I want to say, I know we've talked about other models that came out in sets, and I want to say this is part of that. I know CodeWiki a while back put out something that say it looks like there were more coming, and this may be it. I'm losing track again. But that's what's coming out. And like I said, I did already look through Aliexpress and found those 2 or those 4 models for sale on a couple of stores, maybe even more by this point, because I did my research Saturday morning, and it's late Saturday night, actually very early Sunday morning that I'm recording this. So things, there may be more. But with those model numbers, with those links, you can find, if your favorite store has them, and order it. And speaking of AliExpress, a very common place to get these Piececool and MU and such models. It looks like AliExpress is having another one of their collective sales. They're having an anniversary sale. Some stores are participating, some aren't. I'm not going to give any details because every store is different. My big recommendation, at this point I've seen several of these sales come and go, and I know a lot of people have commented on several of AliExpress sales that come and go. Each store prices things their own way. So while you may be at one store and they look like they have a giant discount, you may be able to find that same model at another store with a lower discount, but the base price is lower, so you're still getting the model cheaper. Or the store may list it as a good discount plus shipping, whereas a store without a discount may not have shipping, and you're not really getting the deal. So shop around, compare with the different stores. Don't just jump on the first good-looking deal that you see. But now might be a good time, if you have the time to shop around, to get a good deal on a model maybe you've been wanting and haven't gotten yet. Those of you who don't have a backlog of stuff or want to increase your backlog, we all know who we are. But looking around on AliExpress, I didn't notice anything other than the new Piececool models. Everything else seems to be the same. No new MU finds or Iron Star finds that I can be sure of. No new Picture Kingdom stuff as of yet. But there's always next week. There are a couple of other things that I do want to comment on. I did get a comment from VN Bennett's, a YouTube comment, saying that there is a new model in Crazy Toys. It is the Piececool St. Basil's Cathedral P014, and it's multicolor. And they go on to say that it's widely available in silver and gold, but not color as far as they can see. They had saw a Instagram post of somebody, a fellow hobbyist, who had built the colored model, and basically emailed Crazy Toys about it. And whether Crazy Toys already had it or they got it because of that email is not really clear. But it doesn't show up on the news section, but if you go find P014, you find that model on Crazy Toys site, there is an option for the colored version. Actually, what I did is I just searched for P014 and I was able to click directly to it, and I'll put a link in the description down below. So if you're one of the people that are wanting a colored version of that model, there it is. So maybe new, maybe not, but thank you for VNBets for sharing that. I know there are some people who are very excited to do the colored models, and it definitely adds a layer to things. And there's some people that are still holding on to the silver plain models. There's an attraction for both, but had to share that little bit. Again, link to the colored version on Crazy Toys is in the description down below. I'm not saying there's no other way to get it, but a brief search on Aliexpress did not find that model in color anywhere else. Actually, I had trouble finding that model at all anywhere else, but certainly not a colored version. Not to say it isn't out there, but interesting bit. And one last thing to wrap it up. Every now and then I see something on social media or Reddit that really catches my eye, and this week it was a post that Metal Earth shared from George Rodriguez, and I didn't get a link to the original post, although I'm just going by their Facebook post. I'm pretty sure they also posted on Instagram. But it is the Duesenberg J model. Apparently, George Rodriguez altered it by putting an axle in it and Matchbox tires from, let me see here, Matchbox Redline tires. So it actually rolls. Unfortunately, there's not a video of it rolling. That'd be really cool. And if you know where that video is, definitely leave it in the description down, or in the links down below, so we can all check it out. But it gives it a different look. That'd be really cool. I've not been brave enough or had the time enough to make such modifications, but I know plenty of people do modify the models. But I thought I would share this one this week. It's pretty neat. You know, just seeing it scrolling through, you probably wouldn't notice a difference, but if you look closely, it does look like actual tires on there rather than the metal things that we bend and shape and put on. So pretty neat. Wanted to share. I'm going to leave it at that. Do want to thank you for watching. Thank you to all of my Patreon supporters for continuing to support this channel. I'm finishing up the initial build video for part 3 of the ISS, International Space Station, so hopefully have some more videos of that out pretty soon. And I still have this video to finish up and put together, and some other models to build. Just takes me forever. And kind of going back to the beginning, I apologize for being late on things, and I hate that I'm not putting out the videos like I used to, but life changes, things have changed. I'm working now. I'm happy to be able to function and work after all the things I've gone through. We're coming up, this June will be the 4-year anniversary of getting my heart transplant. And so many things have happened. Those of you who have been a part of this channel for that long might remember some of the things that I've gone through. You know, I got the heart. It was a bit of a difficult recovery. I lost my kidneys for a while. They've slowly started to come back. I did manage a year ago at the beginning of this pandemic to get off of dialysis. Didn't need that anymore, and have so far managed to stay off. My kidney function is not great, but it's sufficient enough that I haven't needed it. The numbers took a little bit of a drop a month or so ago, but they've come back. You know, just me trying to drink enough water and manage my medicine better without going into a lot of details. I was taking a fluid pill to help keep extra fluid off, and I've tried stopping it before, but started to build up extra fluid, and we certainly don't want that with the heart, because that can damage the heart that I have gone through all the trouble of getting. And as of a couple of weeks ago, I tried stopping the fluid pill and was able to go so far 2 weeks without needing it, and my kidneys are working well enough to keep fluid clear and keep the toxins clear, and is working around about 50%. So I'll take it. I'm able to do so much more now than I used to do, and I'm not sitting still. What can I say? I've enjoyed these models, and I still like to build them and still like to collect them and make these videos, but I'm out there doing other things as well, supporting myself, working. As of late, I've been volunteering for overtime, which I've noticed, and it's no big surprise, that most of the overtime availabilities are weekends. Not every time, but, you know, I think Wednesday and Thursday, Nothing. Friday they asked me to come in early. I know there was overtime available Saturday and Sunday morning, but I opted not to do it this weekend because this is my weekend off and I had some catching up to do and some rest to do. And yeah, next weekend, if there's overtime available, I'll probably jump on it. It's not that I'm dire straits or broke right now, but I do have goals that I've set for myself to earn some extra money, try to build a savings. I really like to, in the next 2 to 3 years, earn enough of a down payment to buy my own house. Something that I've never managed to do. I've rented all my life, something I never even considered I would do, being on disability and having heart problems. But now that things are so much better, I'd like to do that. I'd like to own my own place, have some place that I can call my home, my own, and modify and put up shelves and fix and you know, there's so many things you don't do in a rental house because you do these repairs and you do these upgrades and then you move out and it's somebody else benefits from it. I do sometimes like to give little updates of what's going on with me. Just, you know, I don't know, maybe people are interested, maybe they're not. I get the impression some of you are. And I like to be forthcoming with why it's taking me longer and such like that. But I also have a strong tendency to ramble. So, thank you for watching. Thank you to my Patreon supporters. As always, keep on keeping on and hope to see you again soon.